Then you have the Balemaster Veerless Creel, the Enslaver of the Ark. He's a Grand Reaver and expert in ship-to-ship boarding combat. He's a captor of one of the Dread Arcs of Omen, and he now commands the ship renamed Undermaw. And from here, he conducts boarding actions to capture any ships he can get within reach of, so he's quite a big fleet. He was once a Mantis warrior, and he actually fought in the Bad War. He'll never forget the wrongs that the Imperium committed to him. Is there anything else notable?
You might have wondered why I was so quiet at the beginning of this pod. I was literally like searching through some of the short stories some of these characters have been in, and they have like 10. Why is Colin and Hal having a laughing fit?
In the game. I'm sorry. In the game. I'm so sorry.
Is that what happened in the game?
Andy got a really good kill against some guy jetpacking after him. And then he immediately rolled up a fucking cliff.
Yeah, but I didn't realize you were going to be laughing 5 minutes later.
Can we rewind?
I was laughing because Colin was laughing.
Fine.
I've been seeing that shoulder shake for 5 minutes.
I started laughing and then Hal kept laughing, so I kept laughing.
Anyway,
hello everyone and welcome to another episode with the LoreCrimes crew. Got our usuals, we've got our drinks, we've got everything ready to talk about some good Maelstrom lore, some new stuff, some cutting edge as of the current date. Is the box set and all the stuff, the models, they've been shipped out I think now, aren't they?
They're
hitting the deck. They're hitting the deck. We have perhaps one of the oldest characters in Warhammer, like as in this guy still gets lore somehow, and Eldar get nothing except a little bit. Shout out to Huron Blackheart today, who will be the main focus, who gets some decent love. And as I always, we're on for LoreCrimes, we are on other things. We are on Spotify or on all those other good platforms. You want to check us out there. Of course, do join our Discord where we have people help us do episodes. We have you guys answer beautiful questions. We have other cool parts where we will do miniature of the week at the end of this episode. But other than that, really, we could dive straight on into it, guys, unless anyone wanted to anything interesting happen in previous week for anybody, or they want to dive straight into the lore.
Nah, I'm waiting.
No one has anything interesting going on.
I will preempt this. I have got Space Marine 2 multiplayer footage of me playing as a Red Corsair. It starts off pretty choppy, but as I kind of kick out the jams, I get a lot better. And there's one guy who's just noob tubing me that I get revenge on. So I'm just going to put that out there. I don't suck the whole game.
There's a noob tube in Space Marine 2?
Oh, the carbine.
Yeah. It's got a grenade launcher on the bottom.
You're getting close, and it never fails.
Oh, your guy looks pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah, Red Corsair.
Yes, but we are talking about one of the more iconic warp storms in the setting. Not quite the Eye of Terror, not quite the Cicatrix Maledictum that has been, fucking everybody's day up apparently for the last 7 years. It is all Maelstrom. This thing's been around for a hot minute in Warhammer lore, and Eli is going to take us into more of the revelations of the more recent lore.
Yeah.
I remembered something interesting.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
My banking app was like, hey, you have some recurring charges that you can get rid of. And I'm like, oh, maybe I forgot some subscription to some, fucking website or whatever. And then I looked at it. It's like, yeah, your car insurance. I'm like, I would love to cancel that subscription. Banking app. I'd love to save a little bit more, but I kind of need that one. So, that was interesting. And I looked at that and I was like, I'm upset now. Thanks. Thought I was about to save $100 a month.
Mm-hmm.
I played Overwatch for the first time in years.
Wow.
Man, I'm so washed. I'm so washed, guys.
It's too fast for old fellas like us, Hal.
It's not that it's too fast. It's just ultimate watch. It's ultimate after ultimate. The people's
It's high
movement,
noon.
people's movement in game is like literally like wriggling around. Like it's like people are, like there's no one stands or like moves in normal directions. It was a bit like I forgot like we even did that. And
Colin, Colin quoting the artist formerly known as McCree there. Classic character.
Yeah.
Well, don't name them after employees and don't have employees that do terrible things. We won't have a problem here.
Breast milk.
Speaking of employees who have done terrible things, though,
Huron
Huron Blackheart. Here we go.
All right, we got the new book. I guess it's like 3 weeks old at this point, but it's new. I spent $100 to get this stupid little book. Thankfully, I was actually able to sell the other ones because I didn't need them. But yeah, we're talking about the Maelstrom and the Red Corsairs and the places in the Maelstrom and some of the dudes in the Red Corsairs and like 5 minutes of Eldar lore that you get at the end. And they clickbaited the frick out of me. They clickbaited so hard with the Prince Uriel stuff, but whatever. So anyways, as we know, the Maelstrom is a relatively stable warp tear. I guess you could say it's a warp real space interstice near the galactic core. It is crazy. There's lots of demon worlds. There's lots of corruption. Everything's changing and going all over the place. But compared to places like the Eye, it is relatively stable and habitable to live in if you're strong enough. This, of course, is in the Maelstrom zone, a resource-rich area, which the Imperium still inhabits quite largely, and this place would have been under full Imperial control. Everything would have been pushed back to the Maelstrom. All the Zenos, all the Chaos guys would have been wrecked if the Imperium didn't mess it up, because the Maelstrom warders back in the day, the Astral Claws, the Mantis Warriors, the Lamenters, and the Eternal Guard worked together to secure the Maelstrom zone and secure all these resources for the Imperium. They were doing an awesome job until the High Lords of Terra decided that they're going to pull out the Eternal Guard. And that screwed the Maelstrom warders entirely. And this would, of course, lead to the Bad Ab War, which will be a different episode. And obviously, in this Bad Ab War, Huron and his buddies lost, sadly for them. It's a better Horus Heresy, though. You should check it out. And Huron and his buddies fled into the Maelstrom. Huron was mortally wounded, but he would be saved by, Garon, the Corpse Master, and the Dark Gods, a mysterious pledge to the Dark Gods. And now he's been carving his way through the Maelstrom, creating the Red Corsairs, and a new empire and a new home for all of his buddies. So that's basically the history of this place. In the Maelstrom are Zenos, cults, cultists, humans, Chaos Marines, what are they called? The stupid dwarves.
A Denny's? Is there a Denny's?
Leagues of Votan.
The Leagues of Votan. Can't even remember their names.
Look, I finished recording something. I had some negative views on them, but Jesus Christ, it's not that bad. You two. You act like the Votan are the second coming of Hitler.
Jesus.
This Votan are okay. The Votan are okay. I'm sorry.
And then the kin fucked my wife.
It's just personified mid, to be honest. That's how I feel.
I haven't read their one.
Hell, you
book.
made me read Hammer of Olympia. I don't want to hear about mid.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys just did a Furious Abyss episode. You've had plenty of.
That's not mid. That's ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. That made everything else more enjoyable after
Fury ass Abyss. There you go.
I looked up art for it the other day actually because it's in a Nemesis moment, which I'm reading through for a Lodgecast, and it has a model, like an old model in Battlefleet Gothic, but that's unrelated to what we're talking about right now. The Red Corsairs are, of course, to my knowledge, the second largest organized Chaos Space Marine force in the Warhammer setting, behind Abaddon, and Huron has an alliance with Abaddon, but this doesn't stop him from like spying on him and stuff, of course. But they work together. Abaddon helped him out in the Cadian Gate, smashing Cadia with the old Blackstone Fortress and showing up to help people. I'm pretty sure Huron also imprisoned Guilliman. This has nothing to do with the Maelstrom, though. This is other.
That's stuff. The Terran Crusade. They're on the way to the Throne World, and on the way, Red Corsairs are like, hey, Cinch, Lord of Change, you want to capture a Primarch? It's like, okay. And then like Cypher lets them out. You're like, oh, good old Cypher.
Yeah, really fumbled the bag there, didn't they?
Mm-hmm. Anyways, there is a Death Watch Inquisitorial fortress in the Maelstrom, and they have been making attempts to map the Maelstrom, which is very hard, but they have some bouts of success. When they do this, it is said that tarot readers slit their throats with their own cards, charter scribes dislocate their jaws by screaming, navigators tear out their third eye, and others who attempt to rationalize the region's anomalies suffer fate so bad that it makes them very hard to dispose of. They make a big mess. The Maelstrom is ever-changing, and so they constantly have to update the maps and burn through all these people and resources to get through it. But here's some notable locations mentioned in our new book. I don't think these were in the lore before, to my knowledge, but they are now. Some of them are cool, some of them are like Ascendants. But we got the Red Marches in the northern region. It's a place of extreme corruption that mutates the physical along with energy and matter and space itself. We got to picture this. I'll put this up so that any of this makes sense. Look at this. Lucas, can you see it? Yeah. Okay.
We will try and get a representation for the audio listeners, but it is essentially a massive, swirling, heated disc of space.
Yeah.
It is angry.
It's a raspberry ripple.
So here's the Red Marshes. Sorry, it's the Rad Marshes, not the Rad Marches, not the Red Marches. I wrote it down wrong.
Dude, fucking radical, man.
Morn Hollow is at the center of the Maelstrom, is theorized to once have been an Eldar world, and there are waves of soul misery here, according to astropaths. The places around here are infested with demonic parasites. The Veneration Caldera is a dozens light years long chaotic scar, contains a large amount of Zenos pirates, and it's theorized to have been made by technological catastrophe. The Zildwire there is a giant fold in real space. That's it. The Parakyre Helix is a place of twisted real space, which the Red Corsairs use to travel. And then the Great Legion is a shadow realm that hides at least one Red Corsair stronghold, and who knows what else. It is full of negators and umbral giants that cast unlight around the region. Then there's two much larger, more important spaces, the Howling Gyre and the Tyrant's Crown. So the Howling Gyre first is home to Gal Mech, which is a big, giant World Eater's demon engine industrial world. Is this in the lore already, or is this new? Do you guys know? It's this place called Gal Mech. All right.
Yeah, I mean, we've heard of demon wars before, but isn't most of them are kind of just vague, or in some sense they're just more like demons.
It's like it's a hey, this is a thing that's out there. It's pretty wacky, like the planet that's a dude.
The Fat Man planet.
It seems to be one of the main bases for the World Eaters, especially in the Maelstrom itself. It has miles-wide summoning circles. There's bell towers to the stratosphere. There's forge mazes that go down to the bedrock. There's unimaginably sized void docks. Grimoires are written. Talismans and weapons are imbued by the millions. Thousands of ships constantly come in and out. The Dark Mechanicum, the Iron Warriors, and the Word Bearers all work together here to create demon engines. The Templars of Lorgar are some knights of House Shared. I'm not sure how to say it, probably Sharid. And they're trained and raised up in the depths of Galmech. Galmech orbits a cursed star, which waxes and wanes between shining bright and going dark. The system is covered by hundreds of moons that have been seared with burning runes the size of cities. Demons are attracted to these, and they burrow into the rocks, and they always watch for intruders and give information to the sorcerers in Galmech's sacred towers. The planet is also shielded by a nebula of glittering crystal shards, and these shield it from outside view and only part for those welcome, so it's basically impossible to get there if you're not supposed to get there, and most people can't even see it. That's kind of cool, I guess. But that's Galmech.
They really threw every ingredient into this. like, can you guys think of any possible planet construction and we'll throw it in. Is there a dodecahedron planet? That's just
You enjoying your space, your Warhammer gumbo there? So, yeah, put more in, stick it in. It's still
Yeah, pretty much.
I appreciate a nice gumbo. That's fine. Don't worry about it.
I would say it's a big world. Sorry, I hope I didn't say world leaders. This big word bearers planet that is very important. Then there's Cotrolis or Coccolus. It's the last remaining tomb world. Necron lore. The last remaining tomb world in the
get this out of here. My Space Marine lore.
in the
You got a
Vorskek-
book, Eli, this year. Calm down. You had a book. That's all
You got a book.
Yeah.
Bruh.
You got your one book. Be happy.
Hope Jagged Eye shows up exploded. Like a fucking lethal company death.
It's a tomb world in the Vorskek dynasty. It's the last one, I guess. It's heavily infested by demons, and there are some portions that are awake, and these wage war against the demons, and others are still protected by noctilithic barriers, because remember, Necrons can just turn off chaos when they feel like it, because they're the best faction. And there's some mysterious great treasure in the depths of this tomb world that aliens and Zenos, aliens and pirates and everybody would like to get. Then we have the Fargos Hex. It was once a world in the Pale Stars, but randomly vanished prior to the opening of the Great Rift, and now is spotted every once in a while in various locations in the Maelstrom. When it shows up, it brings with it gravitic and empiric catastrophes. There's disturbing pleas for aid coming from this planet, but a lot of people believe these to be nothing but demons. We have the Null Bastion, which is where the Death Watch, the Imperium, the Inquisitors, etc. are. It rises from the sands of a planet resembling a charred eyeball, and there's an obscuring veil which shrouds the planet from augurs and holds back the Maelstrom's corruption. Many throughout the ages have occupied the place, but it's currently the stronghold of the Imperium, held by the Inquisition, someone of the Ordo Astartes. And then there's Bathamor. It's a demon world of rivers of fire, kaleidoscopic crystal jungles, floating peaks, and bubbling pits of iridescent slurry. Many Chaos Marines reside here, and the corruption seeps outwards, touching asteroids and planets, which brings them somehow wacky resources, which Zenos often attempt to take. All right. Then there's the Tyrant's Crown, another large area of the Maelstrom. This is where the Red Corsairs mostly bool and are being chillin'. It's the major seat of power for Huron himself. He has basically complete control over this area. There's New Badab, the new city that is New Badab. It's risen and is perhaps the greatest planetary base within the Maelstrom. It is home to hundreds of thousands of warriors and space marines, all kinds and billions of slaves. In the south is the Palace of Thorns, which Huron had originally fled from, I guess. And it's Huron's largest bastion. There's a statue of him in the picture. There's the broken...
Did he have it remade, didn't he? He basically made a second one because he was like, you know what? If it ain't broke, remake the Torture Palace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Huron's a cool guy.
You got to have fun every now and again. Even Chaos Space Marines need downtime.
It's true.
That is such a wet wipe of a justification. Yeah, he may have run over people whilst he was drinking, but you know what? At least he was outside getting some fresh air. At least he was having
fun.
All right, well, look. 75% of accidents are caused by sober drivers, so I'm just saying.
Man, get him on Fox News. No, I'm joking.
Drunk driving the ship in the Maelstrom. We got the Broken Narrows.
You tell me you wouldn't drunk drive an Emperor-class battleship?
Oh, yeah.
I would absolutely be boost cruising that thing into an Eldar craft works.
I think that thing doesn't get driven. It drives you.
Mm-hmm. All right. The Broken Narrows is the only major route to the Tyrant's Crown. It's riddled with rogue planets that just float around. They have no suns. They contain sorceries and orbital batteries, which makes the route very hard to get through. The Hell's Iris is a planetary system. It was formerly an Imperial star fort. It is second only to New Badab and serves as a nice way station in the Maelstrom, a place to go chill for a little bit. It's the in-between for warp routes, possesses a black market, a fueling terminal, naval repair facility, mercenary hub, etc. Party city. Corsairs Keep is the Blackstone Fortress, which was given to Huron by Mr. Abaddon himself. It's currently dormant, but Huron's guys are constantly trying to wake it up and figure it out. And they're always adding more guns to it, more defense batteries. And people have to fight off Zenos within, because I guess that's a thing. Back in the day when you could play the little Blackstone Fortress board game, rip those guys. Then Karfist Anchorage. It's a deep void gravitic anomaly that is unnaturally stable. So it's a normal place-ish. It serves as a damaged ship storage because the ships just like float there in the gravitic anomaly. This gives Huron's engineers a steady flow of materials, and dead ships often will drift here and get stuck in this little well, gravity well. So it's not so bad. Those are the main places in the Maelstrom. Forces of the Maelstrom. Here we go. Things, all the Gribblies, as Andy would probably call them.
Gribbly!
That are in the Maelstrom.
Like some Gribblies.
There's a lot of minor factions and just people booling. And then obviously there's mainly the Red Corsairs.
There's a lot of miners in the Maelstrom.
Okay,
I mean,
we gotta
get off this. No, incorrect. False. Do not pass go. Go directly to hell.
There are some trends you don't need associated with the name.
The island would be in the Maelstrom. There would certainly be an island in the Maelstrom. I can tell you that. All right.
Jeffrey the Blackheart. Yeah. Oh no.
Okay. So some people holding power and operating the Maelstrom are generally just amongst the Chaos Space Marines. Black Legion are in here, some independent warlords on errands for Abaddon, and some are here to spy on Huron. Some even operate on their own little war bands and carve out their own little empires. Thrall brands of thousands of sorcerers seek to use the Maelstrom to fuel their psychic ability. The Death Guard perform infectious rites, and warlords of all sorts lead armies of heretics. Even war herds of beastmen mentioned, reside in the Maelstrom. The Emperor's children do their regular stuff in here as well. Speaking of miners, I guess you know what the Emperor's children do. That they mostly are here for.
I pull back.
Pull out.
They're mostly here to torment civilians and Bool. But there's some. I just thought this guy's name was cool, so I put it in. Lord Valentor's polytrophic prison has set up their base to raid Imperial worlds near the Maelstrom. Chaos Knights operate here throughout the Maelstrom. Some work with worlds like Galmec. Others become pirate lords and icons of the Dark Gods, gaining their own armies and cultists, which made me want to buy a Chaos Knight and have my own little army around him. That would be cool. The Night Lords are here being absolute freaking chuds. They hate Huron, and so they perform guerrilla operations against him just to mess with him. And other than that, they're here to terrorize civilians and skin people alive just for fun. Classic, high quality Night Lords lore right there, as usual.
When he met some of the in the Night Lords trilogy, when he met some of them, he said he would have liked to have gone to Nostromo because he thinks they have a funny sense of humor, people. So that's a take he has.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, the Night Lords are here pretty much solely to like be scary. I don't know. You make sense. Whatever, it doesn't matter. The orcs. There's also orcs in the Maelstrom. There's some funny ones, but most of them are just nomadic guys looking around to fight. They roam around the Maelstrom. Some, such as the Death Skulls under Warlord Snick Mech, have set up shop. He resides on a planet which has an anomaly by it that sees damaged ships passing constantly, which allows him to take all their materials and create giant forts on this planet, fortifying it very well, and consistently building bigger and bigger fleets, replacing lost ships. Other orcs inhabit the more stable areas in the Maelstrom, but most are wandering pirates, raiding freebooters, etc. They're a constant annoyance to Huron. He's promised great rewards to any reeve captains who could bring him the heads of these pirates. The most famous freebooter is Admiral Sunsmasher, who allegedly destroyed an entire star with a right hook from his power claw. I guess he's the GOAT.
This post has been fact checked by Proper Orky Gits.
That's right.
That's true.
He was juicing. It's fine.
He's taken on the personal task of trolling Huron as much as possible and hopes to fell the Warlord and become the biggest boss in the entire Maelstrom. Then, here's your 2 minutes of Eldar lore. You have Eldar Corsairs. I don't know, Colin, do you have anything cool to say about the Eldar Corsairs other than that they're Eldar pirates?
I mean, that's kind of it. Like, as a whole thing, like, I like them. Like, they're probably the closest to pre-fall Eldar, like, overall. Maybe not in the specifics of, like, how, awful they are, because, you make Slaanesh, you're probably not a good person, but like they're like unbound by craft worlds, but they're not the Dark Eldar where being awful is essentially a law. Like they just kind of do whatever they want, and they like going out and adventuring. They're not all pirates, but piracy is quite fun, apparently. So they tend to be pirates. And Uriel's reason. Are we doing that now, or should I hold off on Uriel for a bit?
You could talk about him now if you want, because the next thing is the Eldritch Raiders, which is Uriel's own little fleet. So I mean, yeah, you can certainly mention him now.
I'll give it a sec, but I guess a little overview. He was from Craftal Lyandon before he might have let a cyclonic torpedo hit the craft world, which killed a good chunk of them, and he was told as politely as possible to get the hell off of this craft world, you asshole.
And he's third partying in the video right now, by the way.
Hey, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do.
It's true. It's true. It's but,
he ended up turning into the most successful Eldar Corsair ever, with like tens of thousands of ships under his command, and just screwing with the Imperium and really anyone else that happens to be within arm's reach at a moment's notice. He also has a crone sword. Well, one of the crone swords. It's a spear, but it's
Twilight
a
spear.
crone sword.
Spear of Twilight, isn't it?
Spear of Twilight, yeah. It stabbed the Tyrannid so hard the hive mind felt it.
Does it still kill him on the tabletop? I don't know what his rules are like nowadays.
I haven't seen his latest rules. I would have to double check. I don't think it did as of like the last, like prior even to this. I don't think like 10th it did anything like that to him.
I think back in the day you had to take like a leadership test or something every time you fought, and if you failed, it did a wound to him, something like that.
I think I'll have to check like his latest rules update, but I think until now, assuming there has been a significant change, he was just a worse autarch.
Yeah, that sounds like most of the names
about right.
of characters. Yeah, all right. But yeah, Uriel leads the Eldritch Raiders, which, as Colin said, are the most successful Corsair fleet in the Deep Void. They were recently approached by a Harlequin troop, which set them on the path into the Maelstrom. According to the Harlequins, within the Infernal Gyre were artifacts that could change the fate of the entire Eldar species. So Uriel agreed to aid the troop in recovering these treasures and headed into the Webway. At Uriel's side is Karseth, the greatest of his Void Dreamers, which are basically Eldar navigators, but better because the Eldar are better than US psychic stuff. Most Void Dreamers can't exist on the battlefield, but Karseth is able to do so and withstand the mental trauma that they deal with, because I guess I don't know, they're very sensitive to sounds.
I imagine with how the Eldar do things and combined with their emotions being heightened, a battlefield is, heightened emotions are going to be running rampant when thousands of people are dying. It's probably a very stressful thing.
Yeah.
At least that's how I assume it works.
Yeah. I think there are generally just really sensitive beings that can sense, I don't know, all these movements and stuff. And so all the craziness of
is this why they always, is this why they always, whenever you read Eldar in the books, they're weirdly not that mature when I feel like when I read them. Do you know what I mean? They're quite.
It might have more to do with the author, to be honest.
Well, some of it is it's very hard to write an arrogant character not just feel like a child, and the Eldar are space elves, so arrogance is part and parcel of that.
Yeah.
I imagine in this case too, it's imagine if you nice kill, Andy.
That was pretty nice.
But imagine if you felt the dying screams of everyone on the battlefield, in your soul. No, you're not going to be having a good time. I think I feel correct in saying that would take most people out of the fight if everyone's dying screams was echoing in your soul.
Yeah.
Just a casual mentee B.
But
the kids' mental breakdown.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
I thought I was old.
I've never heard that
The kids, the guys
in
don't
my
even-
life, bro.
Yeah, you are old, Unc. What the fuck are you on about?
Someone's been on Facebook. Oh, I found a meme once. Yay.
Yeah, look at my grandkids, guys.
Oh,
Look at this
Tell me not to
AI
post these pictures
video that I
online.
think is
They're just
real.
weirdos. Oh no.
Okay. So anyways, Karseth is able to fight and can like track enemy movements really well, just like predicting the space stuff. This
Bro's got
allows
wall hacks.
this allows Euro's army to be ready and planned for attacks whenever needed. But it is very hard to be on the battlefield, even for Karseth, and it's still traumatic, I guess. And then finally, the main head guys, the Red Corsairs. Do either of you Space Marine people want to talk about Huron, the Red Corsairs at all? You can have some time in this episode.
do you want to give it a bash, Hal?
I may not be as ingratiated with Huron himself. Would this be for what? Not
Doesn't
bad.
have to be the entire rundown. Just
Like an overview.
I can give a 1-sentence summary.
Oh, there we go.
Start with that.
You know, imagine the kind of person who would be angry when his request to invade hell is met with a no. Like, no, you're not allowed to do that, you goddamn clown.
From what I know / remember of Huron, he became chapter master quite young, and
Youngest
so
in the
therefore,
chapter history, I think.
yeah. So he, in the Astral Claws, which were already a chapter of renown, they had a successor chapter, didn't they? Which was the Tiger Claws, wasn't it? Andy?
Tiger Claws,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, to be a secondary founding of Ultramarines, to then have their own other chapter, they obviously had some esteem. There was some probably even greater arrogance, being that they are descended from apparently GW's favorite chapter, Ultramarines.
Ultramarines.
Yes. So basically,
Greatest of them all.
Huron goes on basically the dark Gilliman timeline in the sense
Yeah.
of, I would say. And throughout his, I guess, rule as chapter master, it's the thing with his frustration grew because, even though they are Space Marines, they are, no fear and, the greatest things ever, apparently, and they definitely will not get stomped by any Necron squad immediately. They have limitations by their numbers. They are only 1,000 as per the Codex Astartes, particularly at this time. So therefore, this frustration grew into the fact that Huron was not able to essentially, like he's like, we have them on the run, but the enemies, the Maelstrom could be conquered, it could be pacified if they just had a bit more resources, they just had a bit more time, a bit more funds and men. Go.
I don't think it's necessary. I wouldn't say it's bad writing. The way I view it, at least, is like he is so like, he thinks his shit don't stink so much. He's like, no, I'm the guy who can take down, this warp storm only second to the Eye of Terror, this rift in real space. Like, no, I'm that guy. I can handle this.
He was that
And
guy.
to be fair, he also was diverting
Okay.
resources he was supposed to be tithing to the Imperium in order to do it. Not as much as he would eventually do, but enough to be like, someone else might have needed that, bro.
We will have an episode on the Bad Ab War probably like next month, where I will glaze Huron and save him from this.
He is, I think, the most overhyped Chaos Space Marine. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Well, surmising his lore quite a lot, he essentially, like Andy was saying, he stopped sending the tithe. He then goes beyond the bounds of the Codex Astartes and starts to increase his chapters numbers beyond 1,000. I think he subsumes the Tiger Claws basically into the Astral Claws.
He also creates the Tyrant's Legion, which is like, I think 100,000 mortal auxilia. They just goes, right, we're just going to make a mortal army as well to supplement our Space Marines. And so like,
100,000?
I think it's, I might be wrong, but it's a lot. It's a lot more than a Space Marine chapter. So he uses like a lot, and it might have started and then it grew and grew and grew. But like, he was like, I'm like a conqueror. I'm going to be like a proper Legion of old kind of. We're going to build up to 100,000 Space Marines slowly, and then as soon as he starts getting to like 7,000, everyone's like, hey, you're on. No, bad.
You
dog,
build a
bad.
legion over there, sir.
Look, why not legion, but legion shaped? But he would.
We out a legion. Huron with this suspiciously legion shaped stomach.
He would go on to increase his chapter, in quotations, size. He would call on
Huron's
allies.
would increase, so to speak.
That is not how he said it, but it is how we view it. Official LoreCrimes statement. He would call in allies, call in favors, chapters that owed allegiance to, not time to go to everyone, but, as Eli was saying earlier, we had like Lamenters, Executioners, Mantis Warriors, other ones start joining up to Huron's cause. And eventually, when the good old Lords of Terror, they had kind of the opposite, which is they had no taxation and no representation in their own fief. So they said, "Wah, yeah." So this time to bring him into heel and to, I think if I remember correctly as well, they were fast pacing aspirants through the process of becoming Space Marines. So they were kind of a bit of like almost monstrosities in some sense. And eventually the Imperium would turn into what would be the Bad Ab War, the Civil War, that would eventually, lots of different acts in it, many acts of betrayal, subterfuge, and, kind of piss poor behavior on both sides essentially, but mostly Huron's arrogance would lead to his fall. He would get injured and he would retreat the last of the Astral Claws, and he would obviously supposedly make this pact with Chaos, and he turns himself. He's like, basically, if I can't build an empire for the Imperium, I'm going to build it for me, and maybe Chaos will help me. So he would go on to found himself as, well, the Imperium doesn't know he survived the Bad Ab War, but then there's this figure that emerges from the ashes with a funny little warp creature who gives him access to weird strength and power. He has, instead of, I think he had dual lightning claws in some of the artworks he previously depicted in as an astral claw.
I think he has like a lightning claw and like a Gatling bolt thingy.
Yeah, on the assault cannon or something.
Yeah, assault cannon. Yeah.
Now it's a. Okay, so good.
It's hard to go wrong with having the gun of an A10 Warthog as your primary weapon. I can't hate that.
He's also a big boy. We should say, as a Space Marine, he's always been he looks pretty chunky, and he's not, he's, as much as he's probably some corrupt politician, he's a big chunk boy, and he's
more manlet oppression. The main Space Marines never get to be manlets.
He's got quite the brawler in
when
him.
you grow 2 feet as part of the procedure, you're not going to find any short Space Marines.
Just go to the Alpha Legion. They killed
Alpharius because he was too short. They couldn't have that.
Damn, no short kings in my.
The only short Space Marine.
Killing myself.
Reminds me of that post where someone said men under 5'4" should end it all. It's like, wow. But so. Summarizing with Huron's law, he would be saved through some spicy surgery, some spicy cybernetics, and probably maybe a bit of chaos juice, who knows. And he would become the Blackheart to represent, the inside has become the outside, and it reflects the heart within. He becomes this tyrant / leader who would go on to form the Red Corsairs, and they form this, I guess, again, they're almost like a legion-sized strength from this moment on, because they don't care where your origin legion is from. They many times just attack other Space Marine like loyalist chapters for their gene seed. Some Space Wolf elements have joined them, notably, and eventually it's kind of a swelling ground for miscreants, the lost, and the damned across the Maelstrom forces and area. And this is where we kind of find ourselves. Obviously, he kind of allies with Abaddon, but we essentially find Huron in charge of this massive Raider Corsair empire with the strength of that is larger than what he ever possessed when he was loyalist to the Imperium.
Yep,
that's kind of where we are.
And I'm going to have that and this and that and this, said Huron. Then he went, I'm pretty good at taking stuff that I want.
We should say, personality-wise, he was a ambitious, cunning individual who buried deep within instead of a placid and politician's like face, it was buried deep within a hatred and a need for control. So he is very much a arsehole, as people would say.
That's a crazy message.
What did Possum say?
You get the fuck back to writing that 4-hour mage episode. You get back in the dungeon.
You crawl away. Good to see you, man. Good to see you.
So, anywho,
Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much for being here. We really appreciate you.
We do. In recent years, Huron's main things have been messing up the Hollow Worlds, which is a novel I read literally 10 years ago, so I can't really remember how much it is, but I'm going to reread it. It's on my bookshelf up there. He also soloed the White Scars on Chigoris pretty easily.
He didn't. He didn't win. He lost. He got pushed away.
White Scars L.
Named Corsairs came back, and then he won. And then he won.
Say he did. You will see him in the Night. I've said a bit earlier about you see him in the Night Lords trilogy books. So he does meet some iconic characters throughout the setting, and he's quite hilariously, like, as much as other people like Abdon and other ones have like egos, he doesn't mind if you like insult him to his face because he just finds it funny.
Oh, well, yeah. There is that exchange with when Honsu tries to get an armada with the Skull Harvest, which is like a tournament he throws every few years to be like, hey, are you a promising new warband leader? Come to my place and see if you can kill everyone else that wants all my ships, and I'll give you them for free.
A free army, damn.
And he's like, he steps up to Honsu, and Honsu's like looking up to him, and he makes like a snide comment because he's an Iron Warrior, and that's their thing. I've seen their subreddit. And so Huron just kind of like gets like a finger of his, he just kind of like stabs him through the gut, and he's like, you gonna talk shit? And he's like, I'm so sorry. Yeah, you do not mess with Huron. Because he's also like ballooned in size compared to like that whole, if you stay in like a chaos hub, you're going to get like juiced up. And so like even in that story, it talks about how Honsu's like, I'm not a small guy. That guy's huge. He's like, he's strangely quiet, very imposing, very intimidating. And he's got the ships to prove how big his schlong is, shall we say.
Twink meets bear.
Oh no!
Sorry, but so we do meet him in the Night Lords trilogy, and he is charismatic and charming. And there's a funny insight that is shown within that novel, which is the Night Lords in that book were legionaries, not chapters, not anything. They fought on like the Crusades and the Siege of Terror, and they almost like when the Red Corsairs fight, they can see this, like they have terrible equipment, the Night Lords. But the skill difference is quite a chasm between what is a legionary and a Red Corsair. But the Red Corsairs have quite good gear. And in that novel, you do see them attack the Marines' Erin, I think their fortress monastery, and they take their gene seed vaults whilst the entire chapter is basically away on campaign. Because, again, it's all about pillaging, and Huron does get betrayed by the Night Lords. But he's like, I expected that to happen. They steal one of his ships, and he swears he will kill the Night Lords because he's like, I'm going to take every one of you. I think in another story, he has that one where he has a fun punishment for people he doesn't like, which is he places them into a life support system behind his throne where you have feeding tube down your neck and you cannot move, you cannot see, you cannot hear, and you will not, if you're a Space Marine, you will not die. You will die of old age, which is unknown.
Him and Abaddon really just be like competing how much of a messed up thing can we put in our ship. Whereas like Abaddon did that thing with Epimetheus where he's just like, I'm going to cut out your eyes and sew your lips together and sew a blank to your back even though you're a Psyker. And he was like, I could do something like that.
Turn you into an egg.
In that story, you actually see the perspective of the Marine he does it to, and that person, that Marine is basically like, you'll never get out of there. So he has that particular, he knows there are other beings, I think, near him. So that is a punishment he reserves for those who he particularly despises, which is basically denying someone death and any sensation, which is a doozy. That is a bad way to go because it's no death at all. Yeah.
What else did he do? Oh, he also participated in the whole Cadia debacle, as I said before. He drove the boat He drove the
It
boat.
has the Red Corsairs have a Blackstone fortress, don't they?
And
they have one.
they're also present during Pandarax briefly because they help Abaddon assault the planet.
Where were we at? Maelstrom?
Focusing back to the actual core.
I want to say more slurs about dwarfs.
Okay. We got all the new guys in the Red Corsairs and the not so new guys. And then you get 2 minutes of the Eldar and Red Corsairs interacting, despite them being the cover box art and pictures of them fighting throughout the whole book. But whatever. Okay. New Red Corsairs characters. We have Lord Drac Tarzar, the Iron Reeve.
Charizard?
He's a traitorous officer, where he was a traitorous officer of the Iron Hands, who was censured for allowing too many horrific deaths amongst the Allied soldiery, because he's John Iron Hand, and he was sentenced to a century of penance in the Death Watch. He decided that the Iron Hands have fallen and billions must die, so he abandoned the Imperium, and he found a force that respected strength, the Red Corsairs. He killed the serfs on the transport ship that was bringing him to the Death Watch, and he carved his own path towards Huron. He despises mortal humanity because they're so weak, and he has grown in power, seizing many resources and ships, but most of his mortal slaves don't survive very long, so his armies are actually small because they usually die because he doesn't treat them very well.
Wow, that's a slight on the Iron Hands fans. Like, can we have that David Geimer book? No, here's a small guy in the Maelstrom. Oh, please.
And he's a jerk.
I mean, is anyone mistreating common people really that much of a character trait in Warhammer? It's like, this person breathes.
Yeah.
He's also an Iron Hand, so therefore they are all assholes.
He's very stereotypical Iron Hand. They didn't try overly hard. But he thinks he's the GOAT and that Huron's time is up and that he is the natural predecessor to rule all of the Red Corsairs. I guess.
Success.
The Crimson Choir, who is the Geist of the Red Marshes, is a dark apostle who preaches the words of butchery given to him by the dark gods. He's a very useful fellow in swaying traitors to Huron's cause. Despite Huron not enjoying the worship of the dark gods, he doesn't like chaos very much. He leads the warband, the Thirsting Sons, and they're experts at hunting patrols of other Astartes, and they control a huge stockpile of gene seed, which they have taken from these Astartes patrols. Obviously, all different kinds of chapters of gene seeds. He has cryovaults that are that hold such priceless treasures that they're hidden even from Huron. And the Crimson Choir provides a steady but conserved flow to the Tyrant. No one knows his true identity, but supposedly he told Huron that he was of the blood of Sanguinius, but he's changed a lot over the centuries, his mannerisms, his looks, so a lot of people think that it's actually a demon, a bunch of demons possessing a host, and that's what the Crimson Choir is. Then you have the Balemaster Veerless Creel, the enslaver of the Ark. He's a Grand Reaver and expert in ship-to-ship boarding combat. He's a captor of one of the dread Arks of Omen, and he now commands the ship renamed Undermaw. And from here, he conducts boarding actions to capture any ships he can get within reach of, so he's quite a big fleet. He was once a Mantis warrior, and he actually fought in the Bad War. He'll never forget the wrongs that the Imperium committed to him, so he keeps his bionic eye that doesn't work very well, and it was hastily installed in the evacuation from Badab. Then there's General Henrik Falkreber, a Imperial Guard guy. He was a former Spire Marshal of Styx. He's a brutal strategist, and he was once an officer of the Guard. He spends lives as currency, and he shows no mercy to the enemy or his own soldiers, but he has created a cult of personality. The people quite like him. They adore and wolf stuff to their armaments all the time. He was once an ambitious man of the Imperium, but when he was moved to anti-pirate duties around Styx, he became bitter. His requests and reports were ignored, and the insulting station gave him the understanding of the pirates he fought against, and he now serves as one of Huron's chief mortal officers. He wages war at the head of vast traitor armies and even leads human regiments alongside Red Corsairs. Kind of like he's like a mini Huron, I guess. And now the main Red Corsairs that have some lore. I just have the lore from this book written down for them. Andy probably knows more, but There's Garon, the Corpse Master, the Lord Apothecary of the Red Corsairs. He's kind of a freak. He's an OG from Badab. He's the greatest battle surgeon of the Maelstrom, and he's the one who saved Huron's life on the way to the Maelstrom. He is wicked and obsessed and very interested and knowledgeable in the secrets of the dead and dying in the moments of death, kind of similar to Illuminar Xeris. At times, he might save you. Other times, he might watch you die and like experiment on you horrifically and give you a terribly painful death. Whether you're his buddy or his enemy, he has a vast knowledge of Astartes physiology, spanning across multiple chapters, and he's in charge of screening new recruits for any potential debilitations, mutations, or other issues that would taint the process of becoming Astartes or serving in the Corsairs. Is there anything else notable?
You might have wondered why I was so quiet at the beginning of this pod. I was literally like searching through some of the short stories some of these characters have been in, and they have like 10 bits in each one or so.
Yeah, I think he has some stuff in Bad War books, but I am currently reading those right now, so I'll get there.
Why is Colin and Hal having a laughing fit?
In the game. I'm sorry. In the game. I'm so sorry.
Did something happen in the
game? Yeah, Andy got a really good kill against some guy jetpacking after him. And then he immediately rolled off a fucking cliff.
Yeah, but I didn't realize you were going to be laughing 5 minutes later.
Can we rewind? Can we get a rewind on that, Andy?
Colin was laughing. I've been seeing that shoulder shake for 5 minutes.
And I started laughing, and then Hal kept laughing, so I kept laughing.
Anyway, the reason that I was like very quiet at the beginning of the thing was, he's in these books. I'll tell you what I found. He worked with Arminius Valfex, who's actually got a model. He's legendary.
Yeah,
he's the one
Valfex is not mentioned in this freaking book for some reason. He's got the whips, and he's a tech marine.
He's got back whip things, and he's a really cool mini.
And a big conversion beamer.
He's like master tech marine, and he's there we go. And he works within Hell's Iris. He works within Hell's Iris because apparently their gene seed is not doing too well. It's got insanely high rapid attrition rate, so they have to like resort to other warband origins to help them keep going. He's very knowledgeable about Space Marine physiology. He has a ship called the Spectre of Ruin. And at one point, Huron and him studied the Silver Skulls as potentially a chapter they'd subsume into their warband. And he tends to extort Huron for favors because he's the one who saved his life from taking a melter to the face during the Badab War. So that kind of means you can get a lot of favors, I suppose. And his model's pretty cool. I love his like mechanical finger.
Everyone thought he was going to be a World Eater's apothecary, and they got baited.
Yeah.
Poor World Eaters bros.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's Garon. We'll hear more about him when we do Badab in a month or two, whenever that is. Then we have Katar Garrick, the headsman. He's Huron's executioner. That's about it. But he acts as
he's actually a former executioner.
He is a former executioner, and he sometimes acts as like a lieutenant, leading his own group of Astartes and soldiers where needed. But he truly excels as John Duelist. He's like uber strong, so he can use his two-handed axe like a duelist weapon. And he's obsessed with slaying worthy opponents with the axe of ending. And he slays many he gets a consistent stream of Huron's adversaries to slay, whether those are political or on the battlefield or officers that Huron doesn't like anymore. And he's a key component to keeping things in order. But that's it.
Yeah. He's mentioned in one book, the Huron Blackheart book, very briefly for like a couple of paragraphs. He's there. And he's a really good tactician, but he's an even better butcher. He kills unworthy Red Corsairs who try mutinies. He cuts their heads off. He knows that Huron's basically the only ally he has in the warband because he's not even like a proper Red Corsair. He's like Executioner's bloodline. And he's the one who prosecuted the war on Chagoris alongside Captain Onius Prey. So screw that guy. He's dick. I hate him. Screw that guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. More excitingly, the two new characters, Captain Sargata and the Enforcer. Captain's just like this. This captain is just like an
Captain
evil lady.
Bugbu.
Sargata sounds like one of the characters from Pirates of the Caribbean. Sartosa is in the Pirates of the Caribbean, right?
What's become of my ship?
Yeah. But she was once an accomplished Imperial officer of Battlefleet Solar, and she's now the chief void tactician of Huron. Sargata maneuvered the political realm of the Navy quite well, and she would advance pretty respectably, but it was not fast enough for her liking, so she undercut a lot of people and she screwed over a lot of people, grabbing glory at any possible time, which was to the expense of others. And all of these enemies that she made would eventually come back at her and like deface her in this weird boarding incident that got her sent to a backwater in the Gorvalis subsector. And here she would betray the people she was working for and send the Imperial Naval Base's command codes to raiders in the area, leaving it vulnerable, which would lead to the murdering of thousands and the theft of billions of tons of materials. That was one of her many atrocities against the Imperium, and she now commands the battlecruiser Reign of Spite, is Huron's go-between for traitor naval officers. She provides them intel and prospects for coded signals, system vulnerabilities, and new prospects for potential betrayers. She often accompanies the Space Marines in battle, just for fun, I guess, floating atop her little command throne, and that has tendrils that can commandeer enemy ships and vehicles. She also helps evaluate Huron's void captains and fleets, ensuring only the best serve the Tyrant of Badab. And the Enforcer,
she's basically the new Lotara Saren. Like we got
she's less cool Lotara, to be honest.
Lotara in lore at the moment is like a blob inside the
I would say, she's like half blob, half ghost who's upset at everything she did.
The Enforcer, the Tyrellian model that was not given to Tau, but was given to Chaos. The first new alien auxiliary model was given to freaking Chaos Space Marines instead of the Tau, so I'll jump off a cliff, I guess.
I don't know. I probably should have gone to Tau, but I do appreciate when they acknowledge that, hey, look, it's not just, Space Marines that might fall to Chaos. Look, there are other aliens, too, that might worship Chaos.
Well, hold on there. She's not corrupted by Chaos. She doesn't care about Chaos. So
never mind killing myself.
Well, they do a Beastman as well, to be fair. It shows that it's not a homogenous army.
The Beastmen get about as many W's as they did in Warhammer Fantasy, so 0. The Enforcer is the Crocodile Lady. She's Huron Blackheart's Zenos bounty hunter, also known as Cord 9 Sorga. She is a Tyrellian. She's feared across the entire Maelstrom. The Enforcer was once a soldier of the great Doza rule, which was a Tyrellian war pack whose masters were slaughtered by the Red Corsairs. The survivors, believing their masters all slain, they swore oaths to Huron. Honor and oaths are held to obsessive importance to these aliens. However, when the group received summons from survivors of their previous employer's cartel, which they thought were dead but they're not, they abandoned Huron. The Enforcer saw this as a disgusting sign of honor, and returning to a failing cartel as a sign of great weakness. So over many months, she would hunt down her brethren and eventually bring hundreds of Tyrellian heads to Blackheart as tribute. Huron quickly recognized that she's kind of a baller and very loyal and powerful, and let the Zenos become his chief bounty hunter. And the Enforcer now tracks down every being ever that has ever slighted Huron, whether it be a fleeing officer, a renegade who speaks out, a pirate group stealing fuel from the Red Corsairs, or any such thing. The Enforcer will hunt them down, the ends of the earth. No one can hide or run, no matter how far they go. She always finds them.
So she's also Corsaro Khan from the White Scars.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Master of the Hunt.
Sure. Every bounty hunter is Corsaro Khan from the White Scars, I guess.
Does she have a big list of people who have a grudge with the Warband that they hunt down, perchance?
I'm sure she has.
Did you guys know that Boba Fett is actually Corsaro Khan from the White Scars?
For real.
Yes, he is.
For real. Okay, anyways.
General Grievous clears.
The Tyrellian, she's also Huron's eyes, ears, and mouth and blade amongst the many Zenos associates of the Corsairs. Alongside her is this dog thing, which is a very dangerous creature called a Bargessi, which I've seen the theoretical pictures of these before, and they do not look like dogs. What?
The bar what?
The Barghesi,
Barghesi.
they're aliens, they're Xenos.
Yeah, they're a lot of. I think they're vaguely related to the Dark Eldar, or at least they have some in cages somewhere.
Yeah.
I think they're mentioned every once in a while, but they don't look like the pictures that I've seen of them look nothing like dogs. But I guess it's a dog. But they're known. These Xenos are known to be as like small as rats, and they infest space stations and stuff. And they can grow. They have random growth spurts and bouts of like unbelievable violence, and they can grow to be the size of said space station and just kill everybody. But she found this dog thing. It tore off her arm, but she was able to subdue it and steal a strange alien control mechanism from the person that she was there to kill, and this subdues most of its violent tendencies. She called it plunder, and she has no idea how long it's going to stay this size. She assumes that it'll eventually grow out of its Xenos control mechanism, and at that point she'll probably have to part ways, but it's a very useful little doggy right now.
Did you want to cover Garlon's Soul Eater? There's not much.
Oh, sorry. I wrote him down, but I missed him by accident. Yeah, I will. I completely skipped him. He's the chief spy master and sorcerer of Mr. Huron. He was once a librarian of the Mantis Warriors. We'll probably hear more about him in the Bad Ab War episode. And he now fills pretty much any psychic role that Huron requires. He's a master of manipulation and mind control. He can tear information out of brains, no problem. It is said that no one has seen Garlon's face, which is not true, but it's a nice reputation to have, and it's unknown if he can remove his helmet.
Also, massive creep, at least from what I read in his little short, where I've got a quote for you. It's only a little one. Garlon rubbed his bony hands together eagerly, his wet tongue licking his thin lips in anticipation of some future pleasure. Ew.
Wow.
He's weird. He's weird.
Freaky with it.
Yuck. Put him in the bin. Yuck.
It's giving Tate my strong hand energy.
All right. We now get our 1 minute of Eldar lore. It's a little bit more than a minute, but it's something. It's the
Huge dubs.
The raid
BRB, I'm
on
going
the
for a leak.
Okay, all right. It's the raid on the Crimson Eerie. Oh my gosh, he's actually leaving. That's unbelievable. After receiving intel that a Red Corsairs fleet containing prisoners from a Light Hawk was on its way to the void station known as the Crimson Eerie, Mr. Prince Uriel and his Corsairs would attack them. The Admiral split his fleet in two, sending the faster ships to continue the pursuit of the Red Corsairs that moved to the void station. They would activate their hollow fields and stay out of Auspex range and wait for the Space Marines to begin unloading their cargo and prisoners before launching the ambush. This would draw the Corsairs' vessels away from the station, while Uriel's flagship and dragon ship would make for the gravity well of the system's largest planet, go around and slingshot to the station so that they could extract the prisoners. Here on Blackheart, meanwhile, was on his way, on his jolly way to stop at this classic place at the Eerie for them to offload some of their cargo and let his guys just chill for a little bit. His temporary flagship was a strike cruiser, the Tyranny Incarnate. It was in the midst of refueling when the enemy was detected. The ship was swiftly returned to battle readiness, and the Xenos attacked. Meanwhile, Prince Uriel would approach the station and begin the deboarding actions. And initial progress was very good and swift and successful, as the Eldar easily were slaying the dudes inside the station because they're just humans, renegade defenders. And they began freeing the Elataki prisoners. And with the guidance of Karseth, Uriel and his elite went into the depths to recover many Eldar relics and spirit stones. All was going great until the Red Corsairs joined the fight for the station. Huron realized his error and turned his 5 cruisers to turn about and attack the now unmanned dragon ship. Uriel fought valiantly and well, slaying many, but his own soldiers could not match the Space Marines, unfortunately, and so the retreat was called, for they had already overstayed their welcome and had at least recovered a portion of the prisoners and artifacts. The Flame of Azaryan, which is Uriel's ship, was peeling away, but Jade Chris, the other dragon ship, was still stationary when Huron's ships showed up. Huron ordered the pursuit of the escaping vessel, while Tyranny Incarnate approached the Jade Chris and hit it with a broadside. He would conduct boarding actions, and after being repelled from the bridge multiple times, Huron decided it's his own moment to step up and pull up. Meanwhile, his ship sends harpoons into the Eldar vessel and destroys their engines, so they can't go anywhere. the sorcerers make a hole in reality, and Huron steps onto the ship and he kills everybody. He impales the Eldar Baron upon the Tyrant's claw and immolates him. And yeah, that's it. Prince Uriel escapes. Huron found some victory, and I don't know. That was it. But it was a slight on his honor. So sorry, Eldar bros.
Yep, your honor has been slighted. Tune in next year for your next lore.
Yeah.
When we annihilate half
by the way,
race.
By the way, freaking look at this. Look at this. They post up with this freaking picture when you're reading the thing and you're like all excited. Oh, Huron and Prince Uriel are gonna fight, and then they don't even see each other. There's not a single word.
We should
they don't even make eye contact.
We'll say for the audio listeners, it's just their two models placed next to each other. So
it's in a little diagram and stuff.
It's like, oh, we're going to put Abaddon next to...
They're clearly fighting in this image. That's the idea of it.
It's like,
if it was artwork, I think I would be even more pissed, to be fair. But
could you imagine if they were like, oh, we're doing a refresh of the Black Legion and the Ultramarine stuff that's come out? It's like, here's Gilliman next to Abaddon. It's like, are they going to fight? It's like, no, they're the galaxy away.
Look at this wacky piece of art. Can you see that? Reminds me of
you describe it to the audio listeners?
Oh my gosh, what's the movie called? Event Horizon, when the guy's like strung out with his skin. It's a dude who's chained up and he's missing the lower half of himself.
Yeah.
And there's maggots coming out of his peeled open belly, and they're eating these entrails and maggots and stuff.
I don't know why when you said Event Horizon, I first thought in the movie Interstellar. I'm like, did we watch two different versions of Interstellar? I don't remember anything like that happening in that movie.
Here's another
Matthew McConaughey crying, looking at that image.
You can't really see this.
No. The maggots, no.
There's a little cool sections back here with just a bunch of random quotes and stuff. But yeah, that's the book. I mean, it's got some stuff. It's not nothing. It's not worth your $100. I'll tell you that much. But it's something. So thank you for donating, so I can afford to buy these stupid books and read them for LoreCrimes. We appreciate it very much.
It's still. I appreciate. And do they have different detachments and other style things?
Yeah, they have the rules and stuff for those books, but those are all on Wahapedia within a month. So I don't know. It did have what was cool is the custom character creation stuff. I like that.
I've seen some people have gone wacky with it. Although when I wanted to do an idea of the Thousand Suns, there's no Thousand Suns one except a Zangor leader.
Yeah, there was some that were not optimal, but I don't know. They were cool. I wish that they were that they were legal in events and stuff, but it's okay. You can make a broadside character, which is kind of cool, or a Trey Praetorian character. I don't know. But now you know a little bit more about the Maelstrom, and not much more about the other half of the box set, the Eldar.
But we should. There's more stuff I think coming. Is it Eye of Terror is the next one? Is that
the Warrior?
Yeah, we're in the end of an edition, so they released $500 worth of supplement books that you get to use for 1 month.
Yeah,
it's they've done this since 7th edition. It's so goofy.
Damn,
goofy's one word.
Yeah. I will not be purchasing the next one. My friend plays Iron Warriors. He's getting that. I'm going to borrow the lore book, and then I'll do that. I did pre-order these Twin Lance. I'm guilty, Your Honor. I did do that. I am buying them.
Are they severely undercosted? People were saying it. Not in terms of money,
good.
but
they're pretty. They're overcosted in money and undercosted in points. They're kind of. It's their data sheet has 6 guns on it. It's super goofy, and they brought back old classic jetpack rules that were in 6th edition, where you got to move after you shot. Good old days, and it's come back.
Nice. We do then, if it's ready, we have some models of the week, guys, which we have been sourcing through your stuff. Again, if you made it, or if you like us a little bit, maybe twist our hair a bit if you like us. We are on the Discord. We have our Discord server, which is pretty, I would say, people are in there. People are actually,
everybody. Cool.
Yeah, thanks, guys. And we have a little tabletop section for people to post what they're currently working on. Some of you guys are really, really good, by the way.
It's a crazy picture
Wow.
in the crazy picture in general chat for all you to see. Actually,
Yeah. And but we have chosen some of our favorites from the last few weeks because we very much appreciate it, and we're going to go through just to have a little look see and give a shout out to you guys who are doing. First of all, some people are doing some cool conversions and some cool painting. Shout out Donkey Man in general. What the fuck is that? Thank you, Eli.
it's made by Tom Nom.
Wow.
Okay.
What do we have here?
So the first one here, this one is by ST Wagons. It's Harlequins. Woo!
I picked this one. I think if I remember, if I had to double check, did he say it was for a classic scheme? He said, a little known lore been all but retconned away. Harlequin vehicles have unique flavors, and this one would be Mango Surprise.
Yeah,
which really vibrant. Like that thing is a punch to the eyes. I like that.
It does look tasty. It looks like cotton candy.
So he's used some fluorescence, I think, on that, particularly the pinks or the magenta. Sorry, which damn cool, man. Like that's a way to make a model unique. So I appreciate it, man. That's really cool.
And the next one we got here, this one's like the one I picked from Mr. Ivar, which I think this one's cool. It's a dwarf. Cool.
Pretty nice.
It's a dwarf.
We have some crazy painters in the chat. Yeah, like this is. Yeah, this is like decades and away, a whole technology tree above me. Like I can't even fathom.
Civ, I'm still in like the Iron Age and motherfuckers rocking up with the Space Age.
Yeah, I'm in the Stone Age, bro. Like, oh my god,
it's got tattoos on it. That's
non-metallic metal. The metal alone is freaking crazy.
Yeah, it's got that. Do you guys know like Golden Axe, the old game? It kind of reminds me of that. It's like that retro color, not how I don't know how you describe it, but like the color scheme reminds me of like older minis, but just done really well.
I see what you mean.
Yeah,
I'm afraid I don't know what Golden Axe is, but I do see what you mean.
God, it's really good, man.
Yeah,
that thing's tiny. Look how small that model is as well.
Yeah,
it's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah,
I like the hair too. Let's see, and the next one here. This one is from Green Hat Guy. He's coming in strong again.
Absolute loyalist of the channel.
I picked these wacky Slanesh thingy conversions. I don't know what they're supposed to play as, but I like them.
Yeah, I honestly don't know off the top of my head what these are from.
They might be for characters for Age of Sigmar.
That's what I'm guessing. I'm guessing some of these look like the Hedonites of Slanesh, but I'm not entirely sure what exactly. Like they on the middle one, those like back not quite pauldrons. They look like an Eldar. Like some that might be like, I don't know, Tark or something, but
they are the Thriceborn.
Damn. I like the one on the left has a big tummy.
Underworld's warband. Okay. I bet those these up. Thriceborn.
Yeah, pink metallic metal actually goes quite hard.
Yeah, this is insanely cool.
Oh, okay, these are really just models. Well, that's cool. I knew that these were conversions, but
once again, Age of Sigmar cool. And fantasy and everything getting the better.
AOS models continue to eat well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I like the snake thing, and I like the 4 arms. Pretty cool.
Yeah, man, that's looking cool.
And by the way, Colin, did you perchance have before I pick this last one, last week's or last time's question of the week answers from the previous episode?
I was grabbing. No, I got the new question. I didn't know I was doing that too. I might need a moment in that case. Okay. My apologies.
That's okay. I will buy some time with this last one because this one is so impressive.
Look, you say the line, Bart. Such is the power of Nagash. Yeah,
that's what I assumed was being picked for Colin.
Yeah, this one is insane.
Yeah,
I know what I'm about.
Again, the Space Age. Painted, like what the heck.
He's got a logo. Damn.
Yeah, this guy's
holy shit. Everyone say the line in chat. You know damn well what the line is.
Power.
Is that airbrushed as well on the ghouly ghosts? Because that looks so good.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
damn. I really like the red on his staff actually because it's just it makes it seem so stark compared to the rest of the model that your eyes are kind of dart to that after you like had a look at the ghosts.
I also like how the kind of the gilded parts aren't too bright or like saturated. so it doesn't look garish compared to the rest of the mini. It's like it's a bit subtle, it's a bit restrained. It doesn't look tarnished, but it doesn't at the same time look a bit too ostentatious. It's a nice like pairing with the bones, so it doesn't look too over the top and detract
Quite
from like
realistic.
the color. Yeah, it's good. And look at that shading on his tummy. That tummy shading.
Yeah, true. Very cool.
And what is that, like a 30-pack or something of like weird knots?
Guy's got crazy waist to chest ratio.
He's got that Dorito shape.
Such is his power.
Yeah.
We're wearing a corset every day, the
Hey.
boys.
Hey, he's cool.
Also, is that a sword on his hip? Does he need
Yeah,
that?
he's got a sword too.
Does he
He
need
doesn't
a sword?
need it, but like, why wouldn't you have
Yeah,
one
let's
if you
prove
have
it's
the option?
ceremonial.
I don't know. It's like, here's me of my Abrams with my spud gun. Like, do we need that?
All right, well, let's not have a Space Marine fan talk about things being over designed and unnecessary attachments now. I'm a
Okay.
White Scars player. What do I bring to the table? Fucking piss
Talwar.
and shit.
Otherwise, I bring a
Don't forget the
Talwar and
cum.
a bicycle. I would bring a bicycle. Yeah, and that was our minis of the week. So please check out our Discord if you would like to submit more minis to the and if you've already posted something on our mini of the week that we haven't picked before, feel free to repost it, because then it might be that case of like, we've seen something quite a while ago and then we picked something and then we missed other bits. So always post what you want us to share.
Yes.
And
Hell yeah.
Colin, how are we doing with the question?
I've got them. I've got the last three from the three chosen from last week. It was
Okay.
Hashtag Flesh is weak. You know, what are you ripping out and replacing with metal bits, right? Or some kind of augmentation. From Sodius Max, I'm trading in all my sweat glands for a proper liquid cooling system.
Oh.
And mostly, I'm curious
good
of
one.
the mental image of that. Like, how would that work? Is why
Yeah.
Subdermal
that's why I
implant.
like that. That's what I mean. Like, that's why I like that answer. Like, how would that work? Like, are we going some kind of cyberpunk something? Or is it just like mini computer fans in your
An
veins?
AC unit strapped to your back.
That's why I'm
Self-cooling
curious.
would be awesome. I'm always too warm. That would be, oh my gosh, that'd be awesome.
Second
Honestly,
pair
I'm
of
always too cold.
veins.
Literally
I'd
the
go
best
other way
answer
around. I'd go the other way around. Give me like a heating system. I'm always fucking freezing. It's like, and then Rarest Pepe. I just me too, man. Before, oh, never mind. Yeah, no, fuck you. I would replace my pancreas with a fully working cyber one. Not that I need to. I just want to deprive Colin.
Wow.
Thanks.
Wow.
Dick.
Wow.
And then Magos of Mars, who's completely on my level. This is so real. I'm with Colin. I'm going full Grievous. 4 arms, claw feet, voice modulator, cool single wheel unicycle to forward.
Nice.
So too, brother. Glory to the CIS. Count Dooku was a visionary. Grievous was a hero. This
Yeah.
is the truth. The
He
core
treated
world
him
Republic
elites
of Tyrants.
This is the truth the core world elites won't tell you.
That's right.
Mhm.
That's right. Death to the Republic.
Why? Can you imagine get an argument with someone and like instead of like stroppily like walking off, they just fold into the unicycle and then like sit away?
I'm going the other way. Imagine you get in an argument with someone, their arms split into 4 and they pull out like 4 fucking knives on you. Like, I'm out. No, thank you.
Average mumlaw.
I've seen the 2D Clone Wars. I'm losing this fight. I'm not him.
You're just in the pub and it's like, I've been trained in your Jedi arts by Count Dooku. It's like, I spilled your drink. Calm down. Where's proportionality?
And did we have another question for this week? We had.
Who are you pulling up with?
We said earlier.
Something like that.
Oh yes, so it was a
Hashtag crew.
Yeah, hashtag crew. You're going into the Maelstrom to conquer it. Who are you taking in your crew? Hashtag crew. I'm taking Justin. Was it Roiland or Roland? The voice of Rick and Morty, because it would just be annoying enough for me to end it all. and therefore I would want to get the job done really quickly. So it would be my motivation.
This is why you have a
Have you-
secret, bro.
Have you seen that game? What's the game his company makes?
Oh, High on Life?
Yes, I thought that's what it was.
Yeah,
but
They're on
if
2
you-
games
if you
now.
watch any of that gameplay and you see like his voice pop up in any of those games, it's designed to inflict suffering like eventually. And that's my thought process, because that's been in my head recently, like that game. And I thought, you know what, that would get me to finish the job. Because I'd be like, I need to stop doing this.
Wow.
Sean Befferoid sighting. I see you.
I'd bring Hal, because his deviousness would be so alluring to Huron that I could trade him for my safe passage.
I'll be a pet.
I've already made this my running bit. So to invade the Maelstrom, I would like to bring the entirety of the CIS military.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Droids aren't going to be corrupted by chaos.
No.
I'd bring you free. I'd bring you free because it'd be funny.
Aw. We can all die horribly together.
Yeah. Or maybe steal a pirate ship before we die and get shoved into a sun or something.
We'll get turned into like mewling messes in the wall. Thanks, Andy.
Come warp sworn like, thanks, Andy.
We'll be flesh shares together.
Yay.
Where one of us ends, where it all begins.
Human Caterpillar, LoreCrimes edition. Oh no, get us out of Cormora. No.
Someone said, Angry Home, I would bring the grave mine.
Wow.
Shit, I might put my money on the grave mine.
Bring the flood.
And that's us. That was
thank you very much.
The lore of the Maelstrom. Again, the new stuff coming out. Hopefully it'll go somewhere. That and 500 Worlds, we're just going to have to see how the mileage varies with how much they support it.
I feel like they're going to forget about it, to be honest, but who knows?
Oh, well, we always
Content
have
be contenting.
There was no actual lore progression in this supplement other than Prince Uriel losing a fight.
He's there like, I'm not part of the Inari
like
anymore.
A fucking, all of Prince Uriel's, it reads like a failed fucking Lethal Company run. He showed up looking for stuff. He got no stuff and left.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We're in this weird dynamic of we don't want any progress, and yet when we get something and we expect there to be progress, then there is none, and it's even more disappointing. Like it's
because ever since the fall of Katie, they've been making progress, but they had two options. They had no progress and keep the setting as like the sandbox it was, or progress, and they've chosen the middle ground where everything happens but nothing happens.
Yeah, I mean, like they don't need progress; they just need like, and now Huron's gonna do this thing. That's like they don't have to progress the whole setting.
Schrodinger's progress.
It's with the two pirate factions. They can do a million things that don't actually advance anything, and they still somehow did nothing.
Yeah, they don't have to advance the actual plot.
But here's the crucial part. We got the best lore we've had in the last 40 years recently, apparently. Didn't you hear that Tybros is now a Primaris? Ooh.
What?
Great.
That's a thing.
I take back what I said about Huron. I like Tyberos, and he is the most overhyped Space Marine ever.
Yeah.
I thought we were done hearing the word Primaris. I guess we got a little bit left to go.
I'm afraid that is the default now.
Now they say Space Marine instead of Primaris Space Marine.
I guess that's fair.
Not until we have Gabriel Seth specifically say, okay, I took the juice. It's like, okay, Gabriel, you don't like hate them anymore. That's okay.
There's more manlet oppression. They kill off the only trueborn Space Marines and they make the other ones take the height lit pill.
Space Marines heard that a height filter was coming to Tinder, so they were like, right, get the Primaris out. We've got to be a bit taller. Got to get over the threshold. 8 foot
6
only.
I swear.
Yeah, exactly.
In heels.
Mm-hmm. But anyway.
I guess see you guys soon. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Wait. What about the new question of the week?
We did
that.
That was Hal's Justin Roland comment.
Pardon me then. That got flashbanged by the Justin Roiland thing.
That was my
never mind.
haze. My answer. Drug-filled haze.
Right.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Ignore the last 30 seconds. They didn't happen.